Jimmy. Lights, camera, action. Some people thought I quit and I ain't Jimmy Satisfaction. From a different era, writing rhymes up on napkins. What you had to say was more important, man, than traffic. Yeah, I'm talking back. Speaking of contemporary, gotta speak the truth. What's good, family, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Bond's Podcast right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. What's good, family? What's good? What's good? We are back. Another week, another show. We are so happy to be here. You know we got the squad in the building. Let me introduce my co-host, Tati. What's good, Ty? How you feeling?
All good in the neighborhood, JB. Live from the 215.
Live from the 215 and not in this African accent. Moving right along, you know I can't forget my other co-host, lovely Miss Lady T. What's up, Lady T? How you doing?
How you doing, fellas? Thank you so much for the bouquet of flowers on the red carpet. I appreciate it.
Oh, mama, you know you get bouquets of them. Bouquets of them.
Yes.
Move right along, family. Remember, you can call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Also, family, remember you follow us on Instagram at Jimmy Bonds Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast Bonds. Make sure you join Jimmy Bond Podcast Facebook group on Facebook. Also, family, we are airing live, or rather recorded, every morning from 8 to 10 on PhiladelphiaRadio.com and PhiladelphiaRadio.com TV. TV. So, moving right along, family.
Did you say TV?
I said TV. I said TV. I want to send a special shout out to all the moms out there today. Special shout out. We're going to be shouting out moms throughout the show. So, Mother's Day is right around the corner. So, shout out to all the moms. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I think that's even an understatement for what I'm saying. It's moms are vital and important to our society continuing to move. So shout out to all the moms. We love y'all for all that y'all do. If nobody said thank you today, thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, moms. But tonight, family, tonight's show is definitely tied into moms somehow. But tonight's show is titled Taking Care of My Parents. Now, I kind of know where this came from. Sister T was talking to me about something she was experiencing. And she said, you know what, Jimmy? We got to do a show about taking care of our parents. And I was like, you know what? You're right. We need to do a show about taking care of our parents. So we have a guest here today, family, to help us have this conversation. And I'm so happy she is in the building.
Yes.
We go back. She is a very good friend of mine. Love her to death for all that she does and how she keeps me going and pushing me. Jimmy, you better do that. Stay focused, Jimmy.
Somebody need to keep you online.
I have a lot of people trying to keep me in line, so I got to make sure. But our guest tonight, she has been one of the people that has inspired me to keep pushing to do what we do. Her own journey with what she does has done the same for me. So looking forward to her sharing some of her story as well as joining in our conversation. But you know, for all of our guests, what we got to do.
All right, come on, y'all.
What we got to do for all of our guests.
Drum roll, drum roll.
What we got to do for all our guests.
Drum roll.
Let's do an intro for her. Monica Jones is a native of Philadelphia. She is the owner and operator of HomeWell Care Services Agency in West Philadelphia. She started her business after serving as her family's caregiver and witnessing firsthand the difference that everyday support at home made in the quality of life and the well-being of loved ones. Prior to her starting her organization, she spent over 2 decades in the financial industry, advising numerous of seniors about their finances to help enable them for their long-term care solutions. Recently, the Philadelphia City Council presented her with a citation honoring her for her commitment and resilience in serving the community, especially elders. In addition, Monica is also a licensed life insurance agent with New York Life. And this is where she helps her clients find out different ways to get intricate parts for final planning. I also want to mention she's also a notary. So she ain't Jamaican though. So she's a business owner, an insurance agent, a caregiver, a planner, an advocate, an educator, an advisor, a tactician, a connector, a leader, and a mom. I like to describe her as nurturing, devoted, resilient, sharp, articulate, personable, brave, focused, trusted, grounded. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Miss Monica Jones. Welcome to the show, Monica. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I love that introduction. That's wonderful.
Listen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We ain't saying nothing. You ain't done. You ain't done. Welcome to the show, Monica. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. Yes. You know, taking care of our parents.
Yes.
You know, I think us collectively in here have some experience with that. Whether it's in the home or whether it's driving our parents to their doctor's appointments or making sure that they get to where they gotta go, all those kind of things. So before we start, I'm gonna let you start.
Yes.
Giving your input on this because, yeah, it's important. Talk to us. Say what's good.
Okay. So I want to say thank you for all of the work that you've done trying to help the elders and trying to help people who are trying to help the elders.
Yes.
I recently ran into a situation with my dad. We had to collectively, as a family, come together and sit down with my dad and ask him all the important questions. And when we sat down and talked to my dad as a family, as a team, we realized that all of the things that we thought my dad had lined up, he didn't. Okay. Every I that we thought that he had dotted, every T that we thought he crossed, he didn't even touch it. He was on the strength of, I was going to get around to that. Wow. So I guess my question to you is, as a child, am I allowed to put my dad on punishment?
Well, if you say it that way.
Can I put him in timeout?
If you say it that way. One of the biggest things is you got to be patient because they like the independence.
Yes. So
it's all about your approach, what you say, and how you handle it. So it has to come to a place of just, I just want to help. Not trying to be overbearing, but to get his support that he doesn't feel like he's losing power.
Okay.
So that's very important, I would say, because who wants to lose their power?
Right.
You his child. So it's like, so I think that's probably the biggest part is your approach and to make him feel comfortable whereas though, no, Dad, we just want to make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
You don't want to just overbear and take up your space. What can we do to help?
Okay. Because, we sat down and, we, explained to my dad, it was like, we're all here for you. Yeah. And the way I organized it was I had everybody that was there. We all had file folders and we all had pieces of paper where we wrote down our concerns.
Okay.
So everybody had an opportunity to write down 3 major concerns that they had. And I read each question. Uncle so-and-so wants to know, do you have A, B, and C? And we allowed my dad to answer. We didn't answer for my father.
Okay.
We allowed him to answer. And, and at the same time, kept reminding my dad, we're not against you. Mm-hmm. We're here for you. We want to help you out so you don't become overwhelmed with all of these things that we think that you should know. Okay. As a family, we came up with a plan to have CDs made that would have all of his medical information on it. So we appointed somebody to be the person to go to the doctors with my father. But again, it was the person that he chose. So we just didn't say, hey, this one is going with you. We asked my dad, who would you feel comfortable going to your doctor's appointments with? And then, like I said, we all were on a strength. We need to have a medical CD. Okay. So that way, no matter who took my dad to his doctor's appointment, if my dad forgot his medical information, we already had it on file.
So how did he take that?
He handled it quite well. We're starting to realize that my dad's memory is not what it used to be. Okay. So it's kind of hard when I just spoke to you yesterday, Dad, and I told you I was going to pick you up at 7:00 for your doctor's appointment. And, and now I'm here at your house.
And you're not ready?
No, you're not even home.
Wow.
It's just one of those things. I'm like, okay, there's only but several places he's going to go. So now you got to travel the city, scoop him up.
Track him down.
Right, and... all right, come on, Dad, I'm taking you to your doctor's appointment. Well, I don't have my stuff. That's okay. I already got it. So, it was one of those things. But I guess with all of that being said, I'm quite sure you can fill in the gaps because I'm almost quite sure there are certain things that we probably missed.
Well, it's a good thing that he didn't take it defensively.
Mhm.
And I think by you saying, who would you like to take you? Still giving him control, not just telling him what to do.
Okay.
Really just supporting him and just understanding that if his reaction comes off aggressive, just know that, he's just in a different place and you just got to be patient.
Okay.
And try not to get your feelings hurt with his reaction sometimes, because like you said, if he's losing, memory, he could be coming onto dimension. So you just got to be patient, have those moments. Like it's a collective of you that's helping them. So, if you feel like you're going to be overwhelmed, then,
pass the torch.
Yeah, you kind of switch out. But it's a process. It's definitely a process.
Okay.
But just making sure that to give him his power. So make sure that he don't feel like he's the kid and you're the parent.
But
Yeah, but But I think it's good. So he wasn't negative. He wasn't like, y'all get out.
No.
So that's a good thing. That's a
Okay.
very good thing. So I think what you did was really well. And the approach was good, in which he's going to take it in a good way.
Now, is there a certain way that we should handle things if he should be upset or angry?
Now, when you say that person, like, do he has that person that could calm him down?
Most likely it's probably me.
So it's going to be you, girl. It's going to be you.
Okay.
So that one person, yeah. And I would just say, for you, you got to have an outlet. For me, it was hard. So I experienced the same thing. So that's what got me into the business that I'm in.
Okay.
So it's hard.
Okay.
It could be overwhelming. So you got to make sure you have your support too. Because
Okay.
for me, I was trying to do everything on my own.
Okay. Well, Monica, make sure I get your phone number.
Yes.
Okay. Because I might have to bend your ear.
Yes, you do. You call me anytime. I've been through it. I know.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was stubborn to the end.
Okay. Yeah. I see
To
my
the
dad is going to
very
be on
end.
punishment quite a lot.
Yes. Drove me crazy to the very end. But I would say for me, I wish I would have had an outlet because it got overwhelming to the point that I was being rushed to the hospital and all that. So it was a lot. So you have to make sure in the process of taking care of him that you take care of yourself as well.
Okay.
That's really important.
With you saying that, when taking care of parents, how do you balance out your own needs?
Yeah. So that was the hard part for me.
Right.
And that was the part that was overwhelming because I'm the strong one. I'm the one that take care of the whole family.
Okay.
Matriarch.
I'm superwoman. So it's like,
Matriarch.
I'm handling everything, not taking care of my mom, but taking care of my kids, making sure everybody else is okay. Whereas though it led me to a big change, I had to take that time for me. Yeah, I ended up in the hospital, went on leave, and then I had to focus on myself. I got therapy. Therapy was like the thing that really, really helped me.
Now, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's me and my brother. And again, I'm the one taking care of everybody, and I was taking care of myself. And nobody knew because I carried myself like I got this.
Right.
But when I was by myself, it was a whole different thing.
Okay.
So how did you do it? Like, what got you through it, or what helped
So
you
what
out?
got me through it was, again,
know you
I
went
lost
to
my mom.
therapy.
It was stressful. The job was stressful. You bear these jobs for 20 years. I feel as though I wasn't getting the support that I should have got during that transition. So I ended up being rushed to the hospital. I thought I was having a stroke. It was vertigo. So I was happy about that. The doctor came in. She like, you need to follow up with your regular doctor. So which I did. And they like, listen, stress could kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, you have to take time for yourself. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the leave. So I remember I had like a week. I was going out there next week. Every day I would take my bag to work, take a little bit of stuff. So I cleared everything out my office. It was in my trunk. The last day I was in my office, I sat there, I prayed. I said, God, if you could give me another opportunity, want to move on. I wanted to move on, but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do at the time.
Okay.
So during that time of going on leave, I joined the gym. It was, I'm taking care of myself.
Right.
Never did that before. I joined the gym, found a therapist, looking at other opportunities. And that's when I came across home care because I didn't really know what a caregiver was until I had to become one.
Okay.
So my grandmother got diagnosed with cancer in 2018. I lost her. The next year, my mom got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She was 60, so I lost her.
Right.
So it was a lot. So I didn't never think by me losing them would put me in the place that I am today.
And it was like back to back.
Back to back. The hardest
You
thing
didn't have
ever.
a chance to breathe.
Not a chance.
Wow.
Not a chance. So that's why I said you really have to, in that space, take care of yourself too.
Okay.
Because people won't know. Like I had a whole routine. I would go to the hospital with my mom. I would drop her off. By the time I drive off, I'm crying from the time I'm in the car to I'm almost at work, probably like 10, 15 minutes. Get myself together, going to work, and I'm laughing and joking like nothing.
It happened, right?
I had to.
Right.
Because I felt like, all right, I still got to come to work and
The
manage
cart,
these 11
as they call
people.
it.
I still got to take care of my kids. But the moments by myself is when I broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I read an article in the New York Times today about a young lady who ended up taking care of her father, and she ended up having major mental health crisis because of what she was experiencing. There was no let up. She didn't have any relief, so she ended up needing therapy. You know, she said that she would go in her car and just cry. She said she would go hide from her kids, like somewhere on the side, so they wouldn't be able to see her, and she'd just cry. And you know, I think about that sometimes too, because caregiving is not an easy job. It's not. My mom was a caregiver for my grandparents. I watched her do that for years on end. My mom was in her early stages of being a senior. She probably was maybe in her 60s.
Wow.
And my grandparents were in like their late 70s, 80s.
Okay.
So she came back from DC to Philly, take care of my grandparents. I watched everything that she did.
Right.
For 10 years, she did this. And
that is a lot.
you sit there, you say to yourself, like, wow, I mean, I remember she would pull me in and be like, can you do such and such? Can you do this for grandpa? You want me to do what?
Right.
You want me, what? You want me, wait, hold on. You want me to do what? But because of my grandfather, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. You know what I mean? So the caregiving thing is kind of like a thankless job. It's kind of like nobody's thanking you for, besides maybe your parents, but the family itself might not be thanking
sometimes
you.
They just take it for granted.
It is. It's kind of like expected. You're supposed to do this. Well,
And that's what I was about to say.
You're supposed to do this. Well, I don't know why you would think any other thing. You're supposed to be here. And there's always, you know, the ins and outs. You have some family members that want to do it, some family members that don't want to do it because they don't want to see their loved one, you know, their health like that, or them diminish themselves, or, you know, get sick or anything like that. So they would prefer to not see it for their own mental health or for their own whatever. So, you know, for me, like none of my siblings would deal with it. I would, you know, so it was not like I wanted to, but
you feel like you had to.
I had a choice.
I mean, is it expensive to have a health care?
Yeah. I mean, you want some stats? You want some stats?
Oh, yes.
You know, I come with the stats.
Yes,
Let's get some stats.
Give me stats.
Let's get some stats, Ty. Let's get some stats.
Stats.
So nursing homes and assisted living facilities make up only 5% of the population of 65 and older. Okay. New York Times. That's New York Times article.
Okay.
AARP surveyed, Ty. That's your squad now. That's your squad. Pretty soon that'll be my squad.
I look good for AARP.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
New number.
You look fantastic, T. But the survey said that they found that there are nearly 42 million people who are caring for an aging friend or loved one. That is 42 million people that are doing this job that many people might not know about. It's not something people be like, yeah, I'm taking care of my parents. They be raising their hand like they be proud of it. It's
exhausting.
But they also don't know that even with the short, like they pay for it. So even if you're caring for a parent, maybe you do want to go part-time. A lot of people, like, again, I didn't know that. Like, you could get paid if they have a certain amount of insurance or different stuff like that. So, yeah, because in that case, then you can supplement your income and not feel as though you have to be overwhelmed.
Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, did you know that the caregiving field itself has quintupled?
Yeah.
Quintupled.
Because we in the
last 20 years. And
we in the baby boomers stage right now.
We talk about that. We're actually one of these things called, I don't know if you ever heard of this, it's called the sandwich generation.
Okay.
In the sandwich generation, let me get the correct what it is exactly. Okay, the sandwich generation is a generation of people, typically in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, responsible for bringing up their own children and taking care of a parent at the same time.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that that's what they're doing. Like they're actually sandwiched between two generations. The baby boomers are living longer.
Yep.
They're having longer life, but their life is consisted of chronic disease, disability sometimes. So they need the care. And the industry itself has just boomed because of this sandwich generation that we're in. And a lot of elders, they need the care. You know, a nursing home, and if a home health aid, just you paying out of your pocket,
Right.
average about $3,000
A month?
a
Yep.
month.
A year?
A month.
A month.
The nursing home average a month is about $8,000. Notice I said average.
So I have to get like 4 jobs.
Yeah, no, you'd have to have a lot of money. So that's why only
Yeah.
5% of the population are in these facilities.
Right. And
Does insurance cover that?
Not a lot of times, no. If you have the money to pay for it, then insurance won't cover it.
But
that's
you
why-
can. That's what the thing is, preparing. That's my biggest thing too. Going into the business is preparing people for their retirement age, at the age we are now. So you can purchase long-term care insurance
Okay.
that could supplement and help you when you get to that stage. A lot of people don't know that,
Ah.
especially a lot of working people. So, if you are Medicaid, Medicare, stuff like that, the insurance might cover it. But if you are working for 30, 40 years, you're going to retire, you might not be eligible for that.
You might make too much.
Yes. So if you purchase this insurance ahead of time, then you'll be fine when it comes to that.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk.
Yes.
Mhm.
And like we said, the nursing homes, like, it's crazy. You want your family member to be taken care of home, because if grandma owns that house and they go to a nursing home, they're taking everything.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves nothing for you. The care in a nursing home. So my grandmother was in a nursing home. She was, the service and everything. It averaged about 8. She was there for 6 months. We got a bill. It wasn't like a bill we had to pay, but they give you invoices. It was about $70,000.
Oh,
For 6, she went to the nursing home. My grandma passed in May. I think she went in full time in November. It was like 6. It was ridiculous.
70,000.
Yeah.
That's like a college education.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So ridiculous.
It's
So
crazy.
And like I said, this is the reason why most people are like, you know what? We're not paying that. We'll take care of grandma ourselves.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
we'll rotate
yeah,
as a
or
family.
you get together and you split the costs, whatever you have to do, but taking care of them in their home is better for them because they
You're
get
comfortable.
undivided care.
Mhm.
Because you put them in the nursing homes, like for us, we had shifts. We was there every day, but it's a lot of older people that's nobody come visit them,
Mhm.
and just imagine how they get treated.
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's
That's
Not good.
crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's a big one.
Monica, that's a cape that you wearing. I see your cape, Supergirl.
Yeah, she got a cape.
Yeah, Superwoman over here.
She definitely got a cape. Like
Yes.
it's I don't know how some of the caregivers do it though, because some people you have to have some type of je ne sais quoi. You got to have some type of spirit in you
Mhm.
to do that kind of work, because if you don't, then
You become annoyed
yeah, real quick.
because there's only but so many
Absolutely.
diapers
Real
on the
quick,
change.
you have to care so much for your parents or your loved one.
Mhm.
Yeah, your love has to be overly extreme, because a lot of people are like, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that. Even though your parents wiped your butt.
Exactly.
Your parents wiped your butt when you was a kid.
But it's different
Are
when
you
you're
gonna do
tiny
the
and
same?
small and you weigh 5 pounds.
Listen, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Say what you say. Put
Straight up.
on the
So
gloves.
to put up that, do what you got to do
Absolutely.
and take care of it. So
Yeah.
and like I said, it's not for the faint of hearts. You got to have a certain type of person to do that kind of work. And we talk about Mother's Day. My mother was definitely one of the ones that did that kind of work.
Mhm.
And bro, I used to watch her like every day, Mom, and you limping around the kitchen every day,
Yeah.
breakfast,
Thank God for my
lunch,
uncles because
dinner. Yeah.
my grandmom had 5 sons
Okay.
to help her through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't.
I'm just saying, it's just me, my brother, and my sister.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna talk about certain
No,
family
we
members there.
and see,
that
and now
that
you
make us
talk-
scratch our
but
head. Right.
You're talking about something though, because the family dynamic of who's going to care for your parents and how they care for your parents and the method and they do that, it causes rifts. It causes issues. It causes family members to have fights and bicker and not talk no more
Mm-hmm.
because of how someone cared for their parents or how they didn't. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna say, Monica? What you gonna say?
nothing.
Oh. But I think about that all the time. Like you got to have, just like you did with your family.
Right.
You better plan this out, because if you don't, it's gonna be bickering.
It threw us by
It's
surprise.
gonna be bickering.
It really, really did. So, Monica, me and my father shared the same birthday.
Okay.
So, when I was turning 50, he was turning 80. We were at a restaurant on our birthdays, and my dad passed out in the middle of eating food. And it was crazy. It was bananas. It was very unexpected. 2 nurses came out of nowhere, gave my dad CPR till he came back. Let me see, before we could blink, the paramedics were there. At this point, we were out of town. So it was one of those things where he got rushed to the hospital.
Right.
And like I said, it was our birthday. So we were there as a family. So it was the debate of, do we stay here in a city that we're not from? Or do we go home and come back and retrieve him? You know, who stays here at the hospital with him? If he has to stay overnight, who goes home? It was, that kind of situation. And it was really hard because the last thing I wanted to do was leave my dad in a city that, he's not from, So like as a family, it was one of those things like, you guys go home. You've been here long enough. We'll come back. We'll get him the next day. Don't worry about it. But at that point, that's when we realized as a family that we really need to sit down with my dad and find out what's going on. Because this had been the second time that my dad had passed out for no reason. And it was, I want to say for me, I guess the person that's very level-headed in my family. So it was one of those things where I just jumped into action mode.
You don't even think about it.
I was like, all right, he need to get out of that jacket. He needs to unbutton his shirt. All right, I need some wet rags because, he's like sweating, you know what I mean? The whole nine. And, and I'm like telling the crowd to like move back, like the nurses do their job type of situation. But my dad was in good spirits and everything like that. Like the whole entire time, I had to keep my dad in check. Like the person that gave him CPR, my daddy was like, "Ooh, she got soft lips," and I'm like, "Daddy,
still cracking jokes." Right?
Yeah, that right there. The paramedic that was wheeling him to the ambulance, he was like, "Ooh, I like your legs." Daddy, right? Come on, keep it together,
My grandfather was worse though.
But it should make you feel better because he's laughing, he's
joking.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna need you though. You have to make sure to take care of yourself though.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the biggest thing. So you are that go-to person, but remember,
I mean, like I said, at least I have, like my brother and sister who I can kind of bounce off of. My younger sister, my dad kind of appointed her to be the person that goes to the doctor's appointments with him.
Okay.
Only because she lives closer. So he was just like, she's around the corner. She could take me to the doctors, but, always tag team with my sister. Look, before he has his doctor's appointment, after he has his doctor's appointment, I'm checking in with my sister because, again, I don't want her to feel overwhelmed.
Well, like I said, it was a different name too. It's me and my brother, but I was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, that's her son. So Monica got it. It's Monica got it.
Notice that I didn't mention my brother.
Exactly. So my brother, she like, no, Monica got it. So at least you have your sister.
Right.
But again, I think men take things a little bit different. So
yeah,
me too. It was fine because I'm like, I wanted to protect my brother and to protect my mom. So
right, he was like, let me just go ahead and handle this.
Just do it. And like you said, it wasn't like a thought. It's just
I
gotta do this. So.
It made me want to ask you all kinds of questions like, girl, what's your sign?
Right. Well, we'll exchange number. Whatever you need from me, I'm here. Superwoman is here.
Yes.
Monica, I was reading where they said challenges of caregiving. And some of the things they were saying were burnout, feeling stress, finances, managing their time, and fear of asking for support. Are those some of the things or factors that you
so when
see?
I was doing the research, when I was opening up the business and I was calling around, how you do your secret shopper and doing all that kind of stuff. One of the big things was support, like from the caregiver. Because a lot of agencies, they just sending you to the patient's house. They just go do your job. So a lot of them was saying like if it was support, if you at the client house and the person is acting on route, anything, like being able to call to get that support.
Mm-hmm.
So that was big for me. So even hiring people now, that's my biggest thing. I want to support you. You call me, I'm coming. Also with the caregivers, stay engaged. So I've been at them corporate office where you working with people and you feel as though you just a number. They don't care about you.
Okay.
So that's not, no, this is going to be a family business. My thing is retention. I want to keep, if I have good caregivers, I want to keep them.
Right.
So I told them like doing reward programs, if you're doing really good, the client could give you a gold star. You come in the office, you get a prize. I said quarterly, we could do team building. When I hire them, it's a get to know. Tell me the things that you like. I pop up and come see you and I bring you something and the client something just to let you know that I care.
Right. I see you.
I see you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in one of them situations, you feel like you burned out, call me, talk to me,
right.
So I could be there to support you. But those are different initiatives that I want to do. Also with my caregivers, I've been in the financial field, so I'll help you with credit repair. Maybe you want to open up your own business one day.
Okay.
Whatever I need to assist you or to motivate you, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
So I started.
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
I started last
I tell you
year,
what.
but
I tell you what. This I gotta pause this because she used to tell the story.
Apparently, there's a story to tell.
One of the most intricate parts of people's journey a lot of times is persevering through challenges.
Okay.
And being able to get to that destination, even though when it seems like you're not going to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I told you Monica started her business and, she's this and she's that, but the journey to get there, wasn't peaches and cream. It wasn't clouds in the sky.
Oh, it wasn't no rainbows?
I mean, no, it wasn't rainbows.
No rainbows, no glitter?
No leprechauns at the end.
No unicorns?
Wow. No, it wasn't none of that. But we going to definitely let Monica tell that story because we need to let that be said.
Well, I want to keep it positive, but it is my journey, but I want to keep it positive.
Oh, it's going to be positive.
I started with a business partner, and I think one thing is you should always go with your first mind, right? So even with that, in the beginning, she was taking on a lot that I thought, I don't know how this is going to work. But anything that I do, I look at it, either it's going to work or it's not.
Okay.
We started off small, so I'm like, something was to happen, go another way.
Now, what do you consider small?
So the territory. So I invested into a franchise. So franchise go by territory. So I started with one territory just to get a feel of it. The reason why I did a franchise is because even though I have that professional background, I don't have that caregiver. So it was important to me to get the proper training for myself and my team to have that support. So that's why I invested in the franchise. But again, I wanted to start off small.
Okay.
Learn it a little bit, get the feel for it, and then expand.
Okay.
She went into it just trying to take on way too much.
Okay.
Right. So at first I'm like, okay, but it's her, not me. But at the end, it did affect me. Okay. So basically, if she was up front and telling me the things that she wanted to do in the beginning, she would have gave me the opportunity to say, okay, yes, I can move forward or not. Right. But that's not what she did.
Right.
So long story short, I kept catching her with stuff. She wasn't telling me this, wasn't telling me that. In a partnership, you have to let each other know.
Ain't that right?
If I was buying a pack of paper, I'm calling like, listen, I'm about to base an order before I do it. It's just common courtesy. We doing this together. It's about long as we know we on the same level. So she wasn't giving me that.
She was taking all.
She was just doing whatever she wanted to do. So it got to the last straw was the Medicaid. So I'm like, we in the office, we get a letter, and I'm looking like, how do we get this? So I'm asking her about it. So I was like, I'm going to call. She's like, no, I'm going to call. I said, no, I'm going to call.
Right.
So I called, and they was like, oh, your business partner called here last month. She said, I said, really? I'm done. And when I think about it now, I'm like, I'm crazy. Because I really sent the email to the franchise her. I said, listen, sorry, but this partnership is not going to work. I still want to be in business with the franchise. This partnership not going to work. Can we speak about moving forward? And oddly enough, the franchise supported me. They didn't want to lose me.
Oh, nice.
So we launched September 11th, 9/11.
Okay.
Open, close. The same. This all happened the same week. So it was like a gut punch because I'm like, dang, we just launched. But then it's like, I'm glad it happened when it happened because we ain't make $1. So even though we invested, it wasn't a whole lot, but it was good timing.
Okay.
It was just bad because we went through all this and now we open and now it's like,
And we gotta go our separate ways.
yes. So I'm like,
It's a learning experience.
it definitely is. It definitely is. So that's the thing. The journey wasn't easy. So basically I was trying to like take, she already had 2 entities. So she went on with a territories with her siblings and she had one with me.
Okay.
So what I was trying to do, the franchise was trying to do for her, just decided over to me. But of course she didn't want to do that. She didn't. So we on the phone one day, I told the franchise, I said, listen, this is a waste of time. I'm just going to do everything over. So they like, Monica, what you mean? I said, I did it one time. I'm going to do it again. So they like, I said, yep, I'm just going to create new paperwork, file for a new license and go from there. Our contract got terminated at the end of November. December, I signed a new contract by myself. I created all my paperwork November 1st. We went through all the companies at first. I'm like, I still got all this stuff. I could do it. Applied for my license. They picked up my license. Usually it take 6 months, they said. Applied for the license. November. They emailed me December. January, I got my license.
Nice.
All my paperwork, everything went through. I had to find my office. And then my launch day was April 15th for this year.
Congratulations.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Thank you.
Go, girl. Determination. The whole nine. Yes.
None.
It was a blessing, but I'm like,
where your cape, girl? Where your cape? You know,
it was a delay, not a denial. So
Yes,
it's like I
yes.
just kept pushing through. So
kudos to you for keep pushing through, because
Through.
most people would have just walked away.
Yeah. I'm like,
because
I'm
it's
done.
a lot. I'm like, no. And at first I'm thinking,
You were
I'm like,
determined.
I
It
put
was
a lot
in your
of time
heart. It was in your
and
heart.
effort in this. Like, no, this is mine,
Okay.
and I'm going to keep
And
pushing.
hold on. So with that being said, how do you feel?
I feel good. I really feel good. I feel as though I got one goal. I know this is still the beginning.
Okay.
I'm big on vision boards. I do that every year. I have goals. So my thing is just staying focused, staying on task, and helping other people too. So
Okay.
my story is going to be my journey.
Okay.
So I'm going to be able to help somebody one day. That's my biggest thing too, is helping people and just,
Communication is key.
Yeah. Yep.
As long as you keep on communicating with your staff or with your crew,
Mhm.
you'll be fine.
And then always getting a mentor. It's like with the franchise, there's other franchisees. Anything I do, even at the credit union, I have a mentor. I want to learn for somebody. That's my biggest thing.
Okay.
So, I got a good mentor now. I'm actually going to go see him tomorrow in Delaware. But, networking events like the council thing, it was on a whim. I got an email and I'm like, I'm going. I ain't calling no girlfriends. I ain't doing nothing. I went to that networking event, walked out, met the councilwoman, met the Fox News anchor. So I got all these different connections.
There you go.
Just on a whim. I'm
So
going to go.
I'm just going to go ahead and go.
I'm going to go ahead and go.
And look what happened.
And look what happened.
Show up.
I called you.
Show up. Yeah, she did call me next day.
I called Jay like, you over here?
So you look what happened. I'm looking at her pictures like, oh yeah, I see who you met. I see what you're doing. But that, I wanted her to share the story because, so many times in business and in our journeys, our dreams, our aspirations, what happens a lot of times is when there are challenges, sometimes they're just regular challenges, sometimes they're just severe challenges, right?
Right.
When they come, how do you respond? How do you respond to those challenges?
Right.
Now, we're talking about Monica in our home care business, but it ties into taking care of our parents as well.
Right.
Because when those challenges come, how do you navigate what the circumstances are to try to find a viable solution?
Right.
When she first told me the story, and we actually met her former partner, by the way, Ty.
Yeah, y'all had pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We showed up at an event one day, and she was sitting right there.
Wow.
And I had to call Monica on the phone, like, Monica, guess who I just met? Guess who I just met, Monica?
That was hilarious. And that's the same thing. Like, even with her, I still wish you well.
Right.
I want
As you should.
I
There's
want
no
you
need to be bitter.
to be successful. You just can't be with me.
Right.
So I want her to
I mean,
do
at
well.
least you knew when to step away.
Exactly.
Sometimes,
And that's my
right,
whole thing. The
it
time
was
to walk
early.
away.
It was
Yeah,
early.
right.
It wasn't 2 years in when you like them.
Years later.
Yeah,
And
that would have
just
been even
miserable.
worse.
And it would have
because
been horrible.
It would have been terrible. So,
Yeah.
like, I always want her to share that story because there are some other people out there who are just in business general who need that kind of push, who need to know. I mean, I told you straight out. Many times I talked to this woman, she done told me, Jay, you better keep going. You better not stop.
Thank
Right.
you.
Don't you stop what you're doing, Jay. I'm like, of course I don't want to stop, but you get them challenges. You're like, yo, I need to talk to somebody about this. I mean,
And that's where you need to have those people.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to have those people in your life that's going to check you.
Yeah.
I got my cousin, my girlfriends. Listen, they be like, Monica, get it together. Like,
Okay.
so you need those people. Like, it's all about your support.
Well,
Your
I mean,
support
if you need an outside person that you might want to talk to, I'm right here. Okay? I'm right here. Okay. I mean,
best
ask
friends
Jay.
over
I'm
this show.
really good at just
Yeah.
listening and.
she let me run my
feedback.
mouth.
Yeah.
I will run my mouth, as you know.
So, Monica, I have a question.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you a parent?
Yes.
And how many children?
I have 2 girls, 16 and 22.
She actually
Okay.
she actually has 4 kids.
Oh, yeah. My niece and my nephew, those my babies.
Yes.
If you
I had
scroll
2
through
of them.
Monica's Instagram page, you will see young boy frequently. Okay, look
But
at her
you know
stories.
what? It's so crazy because when my mom passed away, right? And this was so weird. The day that she passed, she said hi to my. It was so weird. We came in a room. She told my daughter hi, London. That's my daughter's name.
Okay.
And the other thing, she sat on the bed. She looked at me and she said 13, 13. And I'm like, she played a lottery.
Okay.
So I'm like, what you want me to play? Your numbers? It was just so weird. And that stuck in my head forever. That's the only thing that she said the day that she passed. So it was weird. When I was doing her arrangements, her funeral service was Friday, August the 13th.
Okay.
Right? When I was looking through the obituary, trying to do her stuff, my uncle, his funeral was Friday, August the 13th, 10 years before.
Wow.
My nephew was born last year on August 13th.
See, they want them 13.
So I'm like,
13.
it was 13. So
13.
it was just so weird because I'm like, she
Wow.
sent that little boy to us. That was our blessing.
Yeah.
And then my niece came, Shyla. So it's just,
Your 4 children.
my 4 children. And they meant all our hearts. Like, because
Yeah.
losing my mom was hard. So they've been making life much
lot
better
easier.
since she
So,
gone. So what Jay say, yes. They're my babies.
okay, so with all of that being said, with you, dealing with your mom and your grandmom and, the new company and everything like that, how do you find time to balance it all out and be a super auntie as well as a super mommy?
But one thing I still have my therapist.
Okay.
Miss Joyce, if you listening, I told her to tune in.
Shout out Miss Joyce.
Miss Joyce.
Hey, Miss Joyce.
Miss Joyce,
she's
Big
like a
Sean too. Shout out to
auntie,
Big Sean. Big
but
Sean
I
in the
talk to
building.
her once a week, and that's good for me.
Okay.
Because it's different when you're talking to your friends, your family. Like with her, she put things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm having those moments, she's looking on the outside in.
Okay.
So she'll kind of like, well, Monica, look at it this way. So that keeps me going. I'm having the support of my family, me and my cousin. Nene, love you to death. She's like a sister. I talk to her every day.
Mhm.
So again, having that support system.
Because, I'm just thinking of the ages, like
Mhm.
I'm thinking of 13. That's the straight teenager.
16.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, because she kept on saying the number 13.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
See, then
she's
you got 13
16.
in my head. But 16, that's a real teenage
That's a
stage.
recent age.
And then did you say 22?
22.
Oh, that's the early 20s. That's some things that kind of messy.
But
we ain't going to talk about 20 anything.
So pray for me here. Like I say, pray for me.
Amen and amen.
But you have to, when you sit, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you, and she just is happy, and she got this little halo sparkle thing going on. You know what I mean? She's
I
getting
know.
all these vibes, all this
I
good
know.
energy.
And
it's like, wow, because you would never think
nah.
that this is her story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
here she is wearing her super cape. Like,
but I'm gonna tell you, like when she quit her job, it's funny. Me and her brother used to work together in
Okay.
the same branch.
Okay.
You know her brother.
Sure.
You don't know that you know him, but you know him.
Okay.
So she comes in one day, and she comes to the line, and I'm like, "Oh, you Sean's sister?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm Sean's sister." I'm like, "I heard you got a business." She's like, "Yeah, I got a business." I'm like, "Get me out of here.
I want out.
Get me out. Whatever you got to
He
do,
said,
Monica.
"Get me
just
free."
Get me out." I'm gonna look, blink twice. I was like, "Yo, get me out of here." She was like, Jay, you crazy. I was like, "Yeah, no, but I'm serious, right?" But as time went on, I started realizing like she showed the leap of faith and what she did, right? So I'm watching her come into the office, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, like,
wow,
what she do? How she do this? How she do? I need to figure out what she doing.
Right.
And so time went by, and I just started talking to her about it. And so when I took my leap of faith,
right,
she was right there, like, yeah, go get it. Like, don't.
And I
let's
am
go.
a
Let's work.
firm believer of investing yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you gonna grow. You're never gonna grow to 9 to 5. And I think that's the biggest thing. Even if you fail, at least you did it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know what you could do until you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A leap of
like
faith is
Jay.
scary. It's a scary thing, but you got to do it. You know, you got to try it out.
And then you survive. I'll be like, it's been like almost 2 years. I mean,
Like,
Yeah.
look at
I didn't
you.
miss a beat.
Yeah.
Like it is. I'm like God lined it. Like everything like just fell in place and it's still falling in place.
Okay.
Is yeah.
So with Mother's Day being around the corner, how do you feel about Mother's Day?
It's gonna be hard because it's my mom's birthday too. So every 6 years, her birthday falls on Mother's Day.
Okay.
And she'd be like, "Oh, I'll get double gifts, ladies. You get double gifts anyway."
Right.
But it's hard. It's hard. That's the biggest thing. It's hard losing her. It has been really, really hard. So
what would you tell some of the caregivers right now that may have that experience sometime in the future, just in terms of the grieving process? I mean, you have been working, maybe sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's years. You've been working to care for your parent, and then to lose them, it's kind of like that void is gone too.
Yes.
You know, so you had that void, but now that void is gone. How do you kind of navigate? I mean, but besides it being your parent or your mom in your situation or your grandmother, what in the world is that mentally like?
It's hard because I think being motherless is like the hardest thing in the world.
I can testify to that.
Is being mother like it could be things like you see people out and it's two daughters together, or they be like, "Mom," like it hits you,
right?
And it's so crazy because I was talking to my therapist before, like, you know, usually I'm a thug, I don't cry, but for this one I cry all the time, right? So I tell my therapist, she'd be like, "Monica, what if you don't stop crying?" Like I want to get to the point where I could talk about her and not cry. And she like,
that's gonna take a while.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, talking to her, it's like, okay, so she give me kind of a
getting it off your chest.
Yeah. And she give me different tools and different things to do to kind of, you know, smell the flowers. It's just in a moment, you know, it's okay to grieve.
Okay.
And it's okay to have your moments to cry. And it's okay, you know, just giving you like, it's okay.
Okay.
It's not a time frame. And I think you don't know how it feels until you lose your mother.
Okay.
Like, you know how you hear people, they lose their mom and until you actually go through that, it's a feeling that it can't be described.
Right.
So I would say like my mom girlfriend, she has some really good girlfriends. And I call her my auntie. Like, it'd be moments that I'd be having. They'll text me and be like, "Oh, I love you. You're doing good. Your mama be so proud of you."
Right.
So it's like those, like people, if you know people that lost their mom, you might not know what to say, but just those text messages.
Right.
Or just picking up the phone and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you." They go a long way because that person probably is in the mood at that time.
They probably needed it.
And they needed it. And it's like every time I get down, I'm like, she got to be my guardian angel, her and my grandmother, because every time I get like that, somebody will call.
Out of the blue.
Or somebody will text. And I'll be like, "Oh, I needed that today."
Right.
I needed that. So
that's decent. It's the universe working with you.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's true.
So I'm happy about that.
That's true. I mean, losing a parent is not easy, let alone losing your mother.
Right.
And
then your grandmother.
And then your grandmother, like
they did raise me, like the closest people to you.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, in our culture, most moms are the center part of the family.
Yeah. Right.
And I know when I lost my mom, it was like I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue who I was. I'm used to calling this woman. I'm like, "Mom, hey, you know, you can tell me
for that little crazy stuff." Like,
yep. And she'd sit there, she'd pray for me, and she'd be like, "Baby, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna make it through this."
Yeah.
And not having that, like, you know my challenges right now, so not having that, I mean, you talk about like,
well, see, this is where big sisters come in.
Like, what in the world? Like, I know, exactly, which is why I seek counsel or seek advice other places.
Right.
But I mean, just that void, you know what I mean? Just that one void of like your mom not being there. It's just to wrap your mind around that is something completely different. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So, you know, I think
I'm like,
Fireworks.
oh, that's fireworks.
Fireworks. We got a police station right across the
Okay,
street.
yeah,
That is
Safe
fireworks.
That's how I said we are next to
That's how you know we in West. I got to pause for a minute and be like, what was that?
We are in West Philly.
We are in West Philly.
Shout out to West Philly. Shout out to West Philly. But I always say, like, taking care of a parent is not something that it's an easy job. It's not something that we be like, yeah, I'm gonna sign up for this.
Right.
And to all the caregivers out there, like, I know probably they go home every day, or their parents living with them, or they're living with their parents,
Right.
and they go to sleep every night and think about what's the next. What they have to do it all again tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that cycle, it can feel never ending.
Right.
It can feel like a cycle that's never going to come to an end.
Okay.
And I always think that like you go to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I always think that most caregivers should have therapy within their operation of what they're doing in terms of taking care of their parents. Because if you don't, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to that's going to give you some advice?
I'm just trying to let you know this brick wall is really nice.
Okay, right.
Who are you talking to? And hopefully the brick wall talk back to you, but that's not what's going to happen.
Right.
But no, like, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just important that caregiving, and the industry is booming right now, but nobody really talks about the intricacies of it. Nobody talks about what is going on with the caregivers. Everyone's always talking about, like, well, I got my job and I'm doing this and doing that. Like, what these people have to do every day, what they got to go through is unspoken. And if they go to somebody, talk to them about it, some people don't understand that. Some people don't have the experience to relate to it.
Right.
To say, like, okay, I get it. Try this or try that. So believe it or not, at some point down the line, somebody gonna take care of them parents.
Right.
And they're gonna need some tips. They're gonna need some advice. They're gonna need some counsel. They're gonna need something. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna say, well,
no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because, like, my question to you is, I don't know if you have experienced it yet, or if it's part of your training.
Okay.
But what do you do when you have someone that is the caregiver and they show anger, or they show throw the hands up, I'm over it, I want to walk away? Is there anything or a program? What do you do? Because I'm almost quite sure somebody is going to be at their wit's end. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about the support. That's why I think it's so important for them to have an outlet that they could come to you, especially with those kind of patients. But again, I really care about my elders. So bringing on the people, bringing them on board, making sure that you get a feel for people. But again, just talking to them and seeing, if they have those different things that's going on. But even with family members, they get like that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm speaking of reference
yeah, like
to.
the family members. Like, I had one of my girlfriend's mom called me. Her mom was going through it too. Her mom's like being real mean and nasty to her. So she on the phone and she crying. But I'm like, you have to understand she's not in that space no more.
Right.
So with her, you need support. Like, she was doing everything. So I'm like, you need help. You need somebody else to come in, and you need to talk to somebody. The stigma of you don't need a therapist, like my therapist said, a therapist need a therapist.
Yeah.
And people
that's very
need
true.
to know that. Like, in our community, it's like, I ain't crazy. I ain't going to a therapist. Listen, if you go to the doctor, if you go to the dentist, your mind that's important. So yes, I think that support is really important. That mental support.
Like, the reason why I asked the question is because between me and my two siblings that I have, it's going to be the one that's going to have the attitude. And I
Chemistry said.
have anger issues.
She's scratching her neck.
Okay.
You see
Oh,
that
that gotta be a walkway moment. Like, about to.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a thing where I'm gonna try not to take it personal because all three of us are experiencing the same thing, and it's gonna be very hard for me to not use my chemistry set on, say, sibling. So before I release my anger or use my chemistry set, how do I deal?
Well, how's your brother in this situation?
oh, she mustn't know who I was talking about because I didn't even say who it was.
And so she mentioned it, right? You see she mentioned it, right?
I was trying to be gentle about it.
That's because the stats show that the majority of caregivers are women.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So when she asks a question, she's like, "Oh, well, this is easy. Which one is your brother?"
Because I'm, like I said, I know where my sister is at. I know where my mind frame is at. My brother is the one that scares me, and I think it's going to be my brother that's going to say something or act a certain kind of way, and I want to be informed early. So I know how to approach it when it happens because I know it's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
I mean, because I can, but I won't. I will. Part of me would like to react, but I know that is not the best thing to do in that type of situation. So so what do I do when this sibling of mine is uncomfortable? That's the word I'm going to use.
Is there another person that's kind of leveled? That's that.
Hello,
that's you, but nobody, not like an auntie. No, you know what I mean? Like none of those.
So, all right. So, what you're saying is find a family member they can talk to.
Because that's my thing. Like, okay,
my
so
brother.
no matter what, you're gonna try to compose. You're gonna have your moments too,
right?
Yeah, so so before that blow up come, like even if you walk away, it could happen.
I mean, see, like there's these products.
These products.
Yes, there's these products that help you kind of zen, and get yourself together with such products.
Begin with 4.
That works
20.
for me because like I'm like everybody else. I have my stressful days,
exactly,
and instead of me. My husband has lived a long time. My husband has survived our marriage. And that's because I know that.
She said survive.
Because, like, I know what to do when I'm having
when you
a
get
bad
to that
day.
point.
Right. I know how to walk away and I know what to do to
so when
calm
you feel
me
like
down.
You get in there, it's time to step off. Like,
right.
This conversation is over right now.
Right. And I'll let me do what I need to do, and I'll be back.
Yeah, I would just remove. Yes.
Yeah, let me remove myself from the situation.
So it won't be pretty for you.
And so, like I said, I know how to handle me. Yeah. I'm just concerned as to how to handle the other sibling.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, but like she said, find another family member that might be able to calm the other sibling down. I might have to look into that. That should have been something that we should have discussed as well.
What's that? What's that?
Because like I said, we all came together as a family to try to help my dad out, but we never thought to come up with a backup plan for ourselves.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Look, when I've had enough, you fill in. When you've had enough, I'll fill in. Like,
and that's good. That's a conversation that y'all need to sit down and have amongst each other.
That's real.
But you said kicking him down the steps is not an option.
I guess not.
but see, and we're gonna take a break real quick. But you said something that was key at the beginning. You said that you met with your family. Y'all all had to sit down. I wish I had to sit down with my mom and my siblings before she passed. I really wish we did.
That was amazing.
Because it just would have been a much better situation, a much better outcome for her passing.
It was the way we felt. We were so caught off guard.
Yeah.
And we were mature enough and smart enough to say, we need to come together and get control of this situation.
Get it together.
Because like I say, he passed out 2 times within 1 month.
So y'all had to have a conversation. Real quick, let's do our radio ID. You listen to WPEB Radio 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Brother Ty, take it away, boy.
African voice.
This is incredible. I don't know why you want me to do this. Monica, this is your first time hearing this. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay. Beneficially. No, I cannot. No, see.
You aced it last week. You aced it last week.
So wait, what is the voice?
We'll do it after the PSA. We'll get it after the PSA.
Beneficially. You deserve government assistance, and it doesn't have to be hard. Beneficially offers free one-on-one help to enroll you in public benefit programs. These programs can help you afford some expenses such as prescription drugs, health insurance, food, property taxes, heat, and other utilities. Pay for college, disability benefits. Call 844-848-4376 Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to access application assistance, or visit phila.gov/programs/Benefili to find a Benefili Community Organization Center near you. This has been a public service announcement from 88.1 WPEB, West Philadelphia's Community Radio. JB, back to you, my brother.
Welcome back to the show, family. We're gonna play some music. We're gonna send some shout outs to some moms out there real quick. Remember, you call us with your comments and your questions, 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. Also, you can email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Listen to the Jimmy Bonds Podcast right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. We'll be right back. And welcome back, WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Remember, family, you call us with your comments and your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com.
Yes, my brother. Miss Renee caught here, but we're having phone difficulties.
I know.
So she's going to call back.
Yeah, she's going to call right back, right?
Yes.
I tell her, call my phone and call Monica's phone.
Yes. I am so humbled to be here, but for some reason, this phone system is really getting to me, my brother. This is preposterous. I do not understand why we go through this and it's the phone line. I hear beep. In my country, we don't have beeps. We just talk to each other.
I cannot.
This is unexplainable, but I'm trying to explain.
Who you?
I deeply apologize to all of the listeners who are listening to me though I rant right now. I do not rant. I run.
What moms do you want to say
hello
to?
Hold on. You got on speaker? Renee? Yeah, Miss Renee in the building.
All right.
We got technical difficulties.
I'm happy now.
Back tonight. What's up, Miss Renee? How are you? Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for having my cousin and our family. We really appreciate it.
Oh no, this she's a jewel. She's a gem. We greatly appreciate her coming on. What is something you want to tell us special?
Great mother to my god kids. I couldn't ask for a better mother for them, even though I know they get on her nerves sometimes. She's ready to strangle them. But all in all, she is an excellent mother. Like I tell her, there's no handbook for this parenting gig.
Yeah.
But she does it well, and she does it with excellence. And that's what I appreciate so much about her.
That's love. How you feel about her starting her business? How you feel about it?
Wow. Because I've been there for the journey. So hearing her crying in the morning while I'm at work and she's riding to work and she's just stressed out. And I was like, just kept on encouraging her because you have to have a prayer circle around you.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Yeah, you do.
And I always tell her, I don't mean you going spiritual and all that, but hey, I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you like God told me, tell it through me, from him to me and to you. And so when she first decided to go out on this journey, I said, I'm like, you making this good gig. Like, what are you going to do? And then the Lord was speaking to me, was like, she needed encouragement right now. She don't need doubt.
Yeah.
And so when she kept on saying, I said, okay, God, you're birthing something through her. And she has to have people around her that are going to be there for her at any beck and call. And so when the time came and, she's like, cuz I'm about to do this. And then when the business went around with the first one, I was like, okay. I had doubts about the business partner, but like I say, we wish her well.
Yeah.
But in the same token, you have to be by yourself.
Yes.
And this is one of those times.
Yes.
And so during that time of that transition, I still had to encourage her, like, it's going to be good. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. And so even my husband, when him and her, the best, they love and hate each other at the same time. But don't let anybody else know.
What's your husband's name?
Brad Stevens. I've been married.
Brad Stevens.
Blink twice.
Shout out to Big Brad. Brad.
Yeah, so
Blink twice if you need help.
she's my maid to the honor in our wedding.
Oh,
Yeah. So she's been my baby since she came back from Detroit at the age of 5.
yeah. She got family. I know she got family in Michigan. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I know she got. She even told me she lived in Germany for a little while. I was like, what?
Yeah, she's married. Yeah. So my first goddaughter. Yeah.
Crazy.
He lived all around the world. Yeah.
So, and let me ask you this before I let you go. Let me ask you one more question. What was it like for you as her support system when she was going through losing her grandmother and her mom?
Wow. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie, because we lost her grandmother, her mother, and then my mother in less than 2 years' time. So when it all came to fruition, I was like, wow. And she was the person, like, especially going through with my transition with my mother, she was the one who had to tell me that my mother wasn't coming back from the nursing home. And I'm the only child. And I was determined, like, my mother's come back home. I was very optimistic. And so my husband and her had a conversation. She was down Maryland with us that weekend. And she saw our wedding video. So she was all upset because she saw our mother and my aunt. So as time went on, that next week I was coming from work, and she's like, cousin, she's not coming back home. So I think that if she had not had that hard conversation with me, I wouldn't have been able to carry on, do what I had to do for my mother in order for all of us to get through all those trying times. But it was definitely a moment. It was definitely a moment, because God will make your testimony. And I tell her that all the time. I'm like, he don't put nothing on you that you can bear, but he want to see what you can do with a little to give you the full amount.
Yeah.
So I see her going through that transition now, and it's just like, it is amazing, and it's a blessing. And I just keep on encourage her daily, like, Jimmy will speak 3 and 4 times a day. I know my husband be like, Lord ain't mercy. Like, she tells her,
You always talking trash.
I was here before you, during you, and after you. So he ain't going away, she ain't going away. So it's all good. But
I'm here.
That is love. That is love.
Yeah.
Sister Renee, we greatly appreciate you calling in tonight and sharing with us. You should see. Listen, she over here smiling from ear to ear. She is glowing over here. So that's love.
My ride or die.
he loves me.
That's my ride or die.
That is love. That is love. But listen, we're going to let you go. Listen, you do the same. Thank you so much for calling in. You do the same, Renee. You do the same. Much love.
Because
Love it. Love when you get people that call in that know who they are and can really you know what I'm saying, adds more to who they are. So, you know, you don't know what someone else sees. You don't know how they receive it, especially during the caregiving like aspect of it. You know, it has to be you got to have a support system. As she has said through the whole show, you have to have a support system. Okay. It's very key. Very key.
I mean, I guess for me, it's because I'm at the very beginning of all of this. Now I'm starting to possibly see what my uncles went through when they had to, you know, take care of my grandma. You know, seeing what my cousin went through when she had to take care of her mom and her dad. You know, I think my cousin lost her mom and her dad. Like, I think her parents passed kind of like back to back. Like within 1 year, she lost her mom and her dad. I think her mom passed away first, and I think her father was probably heartbroken.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, you know, like I've been there for all of my family members. Like, I've seen them go through it. And now I'm sitting here with my siblings and I'm seeing like the very beginning stages.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like all hands on deck. I thank God that, you know, my sister is a rock, so to say, because, you know, and she's the youngest, she's the baby. But, you know, she really did kind of like, okay, she came to me because, like I said, I'm the person that's going to keep it all together. Yeah. So, you know, my sister came to me and was like, yo, we really need to come up with a plan because this right here is unexpected. And for me, I guess for us, it kind of caught us off guard because my dad is healthy.
Yeah.
Like my dad doesn't have any medical issues. So to just kind of see this happen to my dad is like, are you kidding me? Like, I want to say maybe 2-3 months ago, my dad he went grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
He was putting away the groceries. And as he went to put a bag in the house, somebody came and stole his car.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
And my 79/80-year-old father ran down the street chasing these hoodlums with a bat in his hand because he was determined
to
get his car. Now, guess who tripped and fell?
Mm.
Now, and of course, this is the reason I asked the question to you earlier. Are we allowed to put our parents on punishment? Because,
sit down.
yeah, and I said to my dad, like, Daddy,
What was you doing?
what was you thinking? Not even that, but you
But
all
no, but
bruised.
think about it. If it was you too, it's that quick thinking. He wasn't thinking.
He was on some. I'm gonna get these whippersnappers. I'm gonna get my right, and I just kind of had to remind my dad, like, you're not young no more. Like, my dad is the type of person where, there's a small little cliff and where the rest of us are walking around. My dad is the person to jump off the little cliff. And I'm like, Daddy, come on. Your knees ain't what they used to be. Like, who you trying to impress?
Your mind is one way, but your body
is something totally different.
Your mind think you got it, but your body be like,
no,
no,
it ain't the same.
Yes,
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Like I said, after the situation, my dad's 80th birthday, it had to been like 2 days later. My dad called up my sister and said to my sister, "Where's the closest liquor store?"
Oh,
Daddy.
He ain't thinking nothing about it.
Yeah,
He like, yo, I'm trying to get it in.
He doing his thing.
And I'm like, first of all, don't you need a chaperone? Like, you should not be wandering the streets. Yes.
Tell me no chaperone. I'm rocking. What you talking about?
Man,
yep. Straight up.
And for me, it's
a daughter.
That right there. And it's kind of hard because all I want to do right now is protect my dad, and I'm trying really, really hard not to take his independence away from him. Like within a year, my dad has lost his cell phone twice. Old man, how are we supposed to find
I don't
you?
know if that's a man thing, because we were just talking about Renee and Brad. This fool lose his phone about 2 or 3 times a year. And he's not.
I think it is. I think it is a man thing.
I think it's just a man thing. So
like, where my
leave
phone
Papa
at?
alone. I think that's
but it's one of those things. Like, Daddy, if you don't want us to find you, just say that.
Right.
But you ain't got to lose your cell phone.
Yeah.
My dad said to me, he said, "Well, baby girl, how come you don't call me anymore?" And I'm like, Daddy, I call you all the time. Come find out my dad had his phone on silent.
Because he didn't want you to ring.
That's what it was. I don't want these people calling me. All these people calling me.
And I'm like, of course you never think that I'm calling you because you got your phone on silent. You can't even hear me calling you.
Yeah.
Not even that, but your phone probably stuck in between the cushions. So you can't even.
I fell asleep on the couch, phone fell out my pocket. That's the way life. What you gonna say, Ty?
This is the reason why I asked the questions. Are we allowed to put our parents on punishment? I promise you. My teenage daughter, when my daughter was a teenager, I never went through all of this.
Crazy.
I forgot to mention too, what keep you going is your kids. Like, you have your kids. So my daughters, my mom, my grandma, I'm not here no more. So I know I have to do what I have to do for them too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like taking care of yourself. Because you love Dad, but you still got your own responsibilities. So you still,
and like I say,
you wife,
right? So I'm just saying.
What you gonna say, Ty?
Monica, with HomeWell, when you're hiring caregivers, like, what are some of the things that you're looking for?
I want to know. So one thing I think is I like to have conversations with people.
Okay.
Like, we ain't gonna go through the whole little spill with the question. I want you to feel comfortable. When you have conversations with people, they can open up and you could tell.
Okay.
So learning about their experience, seeing what they go through. Everybody has a story.
Right.
So my biggest thing is, what got you into home care? Like, what made you want to be a caregiver?
Now, do you do background checks?
Yes.
Okay.
Background checks, references, all that. Yes. But yeah, you want to hear that story. So I will say, like, young people like, oh, it's just a job. You might not be a good fit. I need someone that cares. And like before, it was so crazy because I think I had asked one time, like, well, you want to treat the person like if it was your grandparent. But then I had to think, well, how do you treat your grandparent? So let me run that back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know, but getting a feel ahead of conversation, doing your due diligence and looking at the paperwork and stuff like that, yeah. But getting the feel, definitely got to get a feel for it.
So
and
what's
luckily
the
for me, I did hiring before, so
okay,
and banking, so it's still, and it's still a hit or miss because you might think this person is wonderful,
too.
Till they get hired.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother ballgame.
And that's why it's going to be so important to me, making sure my presence is there.
Okay,
you don't know what I'm gonna pop up. Making sure that my client feel they could call me anytime as well.
Okay.
So if I'm constantly in support or I have someone that's actually doing it, we gonna pick up real fast if something's not right.
Now, do you take on any and all clients, or you have like selected clients that you take on? Like they have like certain issues you don't take them on, or
not
doesn't
yet.
matter? No? Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. So they do give us like training on different kind of situations. I'm praying that we don't get to that, but yeah, you just have to you do have that discretion to be like, oh, I don't think this is it.
So,
but I wouldn't want to deny nobody.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course, yeah.
What's the turnaround time for your hiring process?
For everything, probably like 2 weeks. It's really fast. So
okay.
You come in, your background checks, you do your phone. It's a phone interview process, and then we meet in person. We feel like it's a good fit. We do the background checks. We have an orientation. They do have to do compliance courses before they can take on a client.
Okay.
And they also have to do like TB testing and stuff like that before they can actually take on a client.
Okay.
And when they do, so for clients, I go in, I do an assessment. I, figure out what the client needs. I come back and it's like a pair two. So I have to pair the client to the caregiver to make sure it's a good match.
Okay.
So those get to know to see, okay, with this person compare with this person. So it's a whole process.
Okay. Now with the new caregivers, do they have to get shadowed before you kind of send them out there?
A little bit. So the initial is a warm handoff. So I'm going in with the caregiver and the client. I'm doing the introduction, making sure they both know each other. And yeah, so weekly check-ins. And again, I put it in a good way. Like, we just want to check on you. Just pop it in. So like I said, the good to know. So I don't want a person to feel like, oh, she just on, how you just coming in? Oh, I know this is your favorite snack. Hey, how y'all today? Just to make it feel like I need my presence there for both. So weekly, just to make sure.
Okay.
Make sure both of them got support, really.
Okay.
The caregiver and the client.
Oh, so you're like the happy medium?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's decent.
Absolutely.
Good.
Oh, it's my go?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. No, I'm not. You good. I'm just messing. I'm just messing. So, caregiving the industry is growing. First of all, let me just make sure I state, Monica's business is based in West Philly. Okay, so if you're a senior out there or if you're a potential caregiver, she local. This ain't somebody that's far away.
Right.
She's in West Philly, so just make sure. Yep.
Okay.
But the caregiving business, the industry itself is growing, and it's growing very fast. It's growing faster than what people even can really see how fast it's growing. I'll get back to my stats in a second, but I remember seeing one place that the caregivers went from 1989. It was at 16% in 1989. Today, it's 66%.
Wow.
Them baby boomers.
So it dramatically jumped from one place to the next. So with me saying that, where do you see the industry being in the next 5 years or so, 10 years?
It's definitely going to grow, and it's definitely not going away.
Yeah.
Because God willing, we all going to grow old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's definitely something that's never going to go away. But like you said, them baby boomers, they big right now.
Yeah.
And people are living much longer.
They
Yeah,
are.
Our elders is living much longer than these young people.
Yeah. No, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next 15, 20 years, yeah. But we just hope that we all make it to those senior years as well.
Yeah. No, that's all we pray for. That's all we pray for. So being that you've been on both sides of the fence, you've been a caregiver, now you have your business. what are some of the tips that you would tell your caregivers as they come in? Like, what are some tips that you give them? I mean, say I'm green around the ears. Like, I don't know what's going on. I ain't never done caregiving before. What are some things you would try to tell them to watch for, to look for?
One thing is making sure that you do have that support that you could call to somebody if things get overwhelming for you, to make sure you have that support. Because the way I'm hearing it is a lot of companies, anybody can open up an agency.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I did the franchise, because this is an investment. I'm not just open up the business just to make money.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely care. So making sure that you're not working just for any kind of agency that just sees you as a paycheck, as a number. So making sure, like you said, this ain't for everybody. You got to really care, because you got to have patience. You have to have sympathy, empathy. You have to have that in you. Mm. Like me, like kids, I couldn't work with kids.
Like, you know it though. You know that now. I can't work with kids.
I can't. So if you know if it's just a job,
no, can't do it.
This is one of them positions. It's not a job. Be a cashier.
Yeah.
Works.
Be a bank teller.
Yeah, do something. But doing that now, you definitely gotta care.
Yeah.
So I would say, going on board, just make sure that you're going with a company that's going to support you and that's going to help you grow. I know a lot of them say to like programs, getting different certifications. So, I'm big on meeting different people. So I had the one lady, she's a nurse, and she want to do classes. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, they said they don't have it. So let me input it. So you a caregiver, you want certifications. Maybe every quarter I do classes that you can get your certification, and I'm not charging them. It's just, I'm bringing this person in. Again, this is for retention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the support. So the growth. So there's different things that I will be doing.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you about that. Do you require certifications for the caregivers, or can they have something as simple as just like a CPR certification?
Yeah, they can come in with stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of them were saying as though they don't have the opportunity, like they have to go out and pay for it.
Right.
Caregivers, again, a lot of them work for multiple agencies because the hours, right? Now, that's one thing, like I told my caregivers, whoever comes on board, the administrative positions, what I want to do is, before going out and hiring other people, I want to give them an opportunity. So when we do an interview, I'm like, what is your career path? Like, what do you want to do? Is this something that you want to do? You want to grow? Because, like I said, maybe you want your own home care. So do you want to do the administrative part? So for those good people that I do have, that I want to make sure I keep, them hours I can make up with administrator. You can come in the office, or you could be the caregiver that goes around to check on the other caregivers, because they might not want to see.
Right.
They
might not.
They peers, so you go check on them.
Yeah.
So just trying to help them grow as well, so they can have those hours to supplement, so they don't have to work for 3 or 4 agencies.
Okay.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's the game out there.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, T. We're gonna take a quick break because we got to do a PSA real fast. Ty, you got a PSA lined up?
I do. I am not.
Yo, Monica looked up there with the anticipation, like, is he gonna say it?
I said
Is he gonna say it? Wait a minute, is he gonna say it?
Why did I look over at the microphone?
She showed that she looked at the mic, she looked at T at the same time, like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?
I'm not gonna do it on this one. All right. Ask a small business consultant. Second Tuesdays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Business Resource and Innovation Center. Temple Small Business Development Center is here to answer your business questions. A business consultant can help current and prospective entrepreneurs with a variety of business concerns. You can find them at the Parkway Central Library, 1901 Vine Street. That number is 215-686-8663, or thefreelibrary.org/business. JB, back to you.
Oh, we're going to play some music right now. Real quick. We're going to take a little quick minute hiatus. I got to get my voice together. These allergies are killing me. Killing me right now.
Blaming it on his allergies.
I'm blaming on my allergies. Kids is going crazy. We're going to play some music right now. So, family, we'll be right back. Remember, you call us with your comments and questions. 215-472-0881. Again, it's 215-472-0881.
We don't have allergies in my country. We have beautiful trees, plenty of water, Rivers that run east
You
and
can
west.
email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com.
You guys just sniffle all the time. We don't understand why you people sniffle so much. And your eyes are running. Why are your eyes running?
Fam, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. And welcome back, WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Remember, family, you can call us with your comments and your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JINNYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Family, again, we're sitting here talking about taking care of our parents with Miss Monica Jones of HomeWell Care Services, West Philly's own.
Miss Monica, are you having a good time this evening?
Listen, I told him
Yo.
I got a long leg. I'm not even looking at him, yo.
Can we get Reverend CC, please?
You gonna think I'm crazy.
Reverend
yo, for real.
CC, can we get Reverend CC chicken
not
wing?
Tonight, not tonight, no.
Let me see.
Reverend CC chicken
I
wing.
can't do it right now. I can't do this. I cannot do
Hey, this Reverend CC chicken wing.
Why see? Where did that come from?
And you're listening to the Jimmy Bonds podcast.
All right, so this is how Reverend CC Chicken Wing came about. My grandmother had a speakeasy, right, back in the day. And on Sundays, the pastors from the neighborhood churches,
On Sunday.
yes, they would come over there and they would drink because that would get them,
Go.
in the groove to go and do their sermons. So I would listen to
You ain't
them.
know? Oh, you ain't know?
Oh, I'm very confused. They something else.
So I would listen to
Talking
them
with
and I
PK
started
over there.
mocking them. And one day while I was in Atlantic City, I don't know if you ever heard of this place called Chicken Bone Beach. So in Atlantic City at the far end where the blacks and the Latinos live at, on the boardwalk, the black people back in the day used to go up there and they used to eat their chicken wings and they would just throw them on the beach. And so there's a plaque out there called Chicken Bone Beach. Yeah.
Look for
To
it.
this day.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
there.
have
You
to
can
look for
Google
it.
it. Chicken Bone Beach in Atlantic City. It's going to come
I have
up.
to look for it.
This Dr. Research, so anything he say I know is valid. Like, yeah, he do.
Yes.
When I was mocking the pastors, I just started, talking like this, taking that deep breath, and so this is Reverend CC Chicken Wing, Chicken Bone Beach Ministries, located in West Philadelphia, PA. So that's how that came about. Right.
Oh, y'all never heard of Reverend CC.
No.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he had...
So I usually don't do it.
Yo, we got plugged up. We got to play some of them breaks.
No.
We got to play. He got one Reverend CC.
Yes.
Reverend CC he breaking down, listening to Jimmy Bond's podcast. Reverend
Oh,
CC
yeah,
is
yeah.
on the toilet. And if you had heard that one, you would be done. Just finished. Ty's multi-talented. Very, very talented. This dude, man. This dude.
Hilarious.
But, I always want to say, I always want to ask all of our guests, not all of them this, but I always want to ask this question because it always makes me think. So,
Okay.
Monica, you've done a lot corporately. You've done a lot personally. You've done a lot for your business.
Mhm.
What would you say to your younger self today?
Oh, wow. Great question.
That's funny when you say younger because I had wrote like a letter for my 40th, like my 10-year, your future self.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's crazy. Younger, I would tell me to not much different. Just stay on task, keep doing what you're doing, but just make like probably some different decisions. One thing was I wanted to go into the military, and I ended up marrying somebody who wanted to the military. I love to travel, so I always thought about that. I'm like, oh, what if I did go?
Right.
But and all nothing I really changed. Like I got my girls, I'm happy with it. But it's just I would have never thought I would be where I'm at today
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
for my younger self. So just opening up my mind and just reaching for the stars, I guess.
Yeah.
Like just telling myself, like, you got this. Don't settle.
Yeah.
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 The don't settle part.
Don't settle.
I had to tell my younger self.
Don't settle on nothing. Don't settle on no house. Don't settle on no husband.
Get out your comfort
Don't
zone.
settle on nothing. Don't
Nothing.
settle.
What you say, my 8-bedroom house? What you say?
It's
That's
coming.
what I heard.
It's coming. It's coming.
But no, like I really do have a question for you.
Okay.
If I needed advice,
Mhm.
and you know, I don't want to go into the business of being a caregiver, but if I need advice, do I call you? Do you give advice? Do you send somebody my way? How do I go about it?
I will help you in any way possible. So it was one thing, I think I talked to you, Jay, about it. This whole transition of getting a business, it's hard to get help.
Okay.
So remember I told you
yeah.
about the consulting company. I was like, I think I want to do that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like helping people, having that resource. That's really important because it's
Right.
hard because people don't want to help you.
Because like I know for sure right now, me and my family, we're just winging it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have no idea what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're saying like I can just kind of pass out your number to all my
You
family
sure
members?
can. And something else I wanted to do too. I be having so many ideas. I'm like, Monica, I want to do everything. But one thing, like I said,
You can do everything.
Literally, I could do anything.
She can.
My mind.
She can.
But having like those, you know, like wine and like them girls' nights. Like now that I got the office, maybe once a month, like getting a feel for that. Like even my group, like hosting different nights. So we could just come in and talk. Like
Okay.
I remember I told you too with the mental health thing with the guys. Like coming to the like
For
having
sure.
that once a month.
For sure.
You know, like I have the space now trying to utilize it to help others. So absolutely.
Okay.
And anything you could think of, we could partner together. We could do that too.
And look, I had a fabulous idea. I might have to talk to you after the show.
Okay.
But my idea is to get some of these teens off the streets.
Yes.
But yeah, it's something that I will definitely need to bend your ear.
You know, maybe we can have London come over to the Generational Gap podcast when we do it in June. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think London would be great for it if she wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's real outspoken too.
She'd be perfect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Yeah.
And your other daughter too, because that age bracket,
Yeah.
that'd be dope.
Oh, you talk about the June segment when we talk to the young
and old, young and the different.
adults.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing a podcast called Generational Gap, where we're gonna have young people and older people and have this conversation to figure out where's the communication, where's not going, what is it that we don't understand, what is it they don't understand, figure out how we can communicate better, because there's a big gap between.
I'm about to say bridge that gap.
That gap is major, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. You know, they look at kids. These kids crazy today. This kid's crazy, but we was crazy too when we was that age.
And the funny thing about it is, all teenagers or all kids are not bad kids.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Sierra and London would benefit from that.
Yeah. Dope.
Dope. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Monica has always been the one that really, like when I was talking to her, she would always tell me like, you know, we about to go start this consulting thing because people need help.
Mm-hmm.
I got this man just called me. He need to know how to set up the business. I already know I did it already, so I'm gonna tell him to do it. I'm gonna show him how to do it. We'll get this going. You know what I'm saying? So she's always been that type that if you need advice, you need help in any kind of
I might have to
position.
start sending you to my family gatherings. Or, you know, just so I don't get the pushback. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, now I have a professional
that
that
actually went through it. That can
actually
actually
went through
vouch and say, yeah, no, for sure. Sometimes you gotta have that too.
I've known you maybe a month ago. You know what I mean?
I probably should have sent you over information when you was telling me about it. I should have been like, yeah.
I know you should be like, here, let's call
Monica.
Do that.
Yeah, I normally would. You know, I've been slipping lately, so.
No, that's okay.
No, you just got a lot going on. Everybody got.
Look, everything happens within its own time.
Wait, when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
everything's supposed to happen when it's supposed to. Tab, what's good, man? What you want to say to Monica? I know we got to.
I thank you for coming on tonight, and you got to meet my friend. You know,
all your personalities.
Yeah.
I got to meet all your personalities. Now, I heard about you before I got here. Jay ain't bitching all that.
Thank you for coming out this evening. You know what I mean, talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
T, something you want to say?
Do what you're doing. Be encouraged. The sky is the limit. You know what I mean? And yeah, if you still have some things brewing, bring it to the forefront. Yeah, closed mouths don't get fed.
That's true.
So throw it out there into the universe. Somebody pick it up and help you with it. Yeah,
that's true. Mm-hmm. Well, I just want to thank you all for having me. You know, Jay, thanks for the opportunity. Ty, yes. You made my night. It was really nice meeting you as well. So, no, I'm serious. We really got to stay in contact.
Your numbers, I know how to stalk.
Yes. So I know you say sponsorship. When I get to that level, I got you guys.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about that even offline because we might do something for you anyway. You know, we've had talks and conversations, and
Okay.
we've had all kind of things. But I'm gonna say this: I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
Extremely
Don't be
proud
trying to
of
make
you.
me cry.
You are
Soft clap.
you are one of the people that I can look to and be like, yo, Monica did it. I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not because Monica, had something going on in her life, and all of a sudden, like, no, Monica did this. I can do this.
Yeah.
And even being like, even our career paths have been so similar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so like almost the exact to the point. And she took off 2 years before I did, and I was like, all right, well, I need to find somebody who
She
can
can do
relate
it,
to
I
this.
can do
Yeah. So it's great to have a friend that's on a journey similar to yours, because they can tell you not to feel ashamed about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell you, like, you gotta work it the way you work it.
Right.
And
Be encouraged.
definitely be encouraged. And I've had nothing but positivity. I mean, even in my I'm not gonna say failures, but some of my challenges, I've talked to Monica about it. She just be a listening ear, not a judging ear,
Mm-hmm.
but a listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
And you need that. It's valuable. It's important. So Monica, from the whole team, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
We definitely appreciate you. Where can the people find you at? Because I've been on the website. So where can the people find you at?
Okay, so one thing, if you want to give me a call, well, first off, my office is on City Line Avenue, 7708 City Avenue, Suite 218, Philadelphia, PA, 19151. My office number is 215-933-3717. If you want to shoot me an email as well, is mjones@homewellcares.com. And the website too is HomeWell Cares. Just make sure when you go to the website that you go to my website. Look for the address. It's PA 209. And again, the address is the 7708.
Perfect.
All right.
Gotta plug it. But no social medias? They can't find your social media?
Oh, what's my choose?
Huh? They can't. she gotta look at it. Look at it.
Okay. So my Facebook, if you look under Monica Moni, and that's MONNIE, you can find me there. On my Instagram, I always gotta look. I'm sorry.
She be blazing the Instagram.
Oh, this one.
Moni in the middle, where she at? Moni in
Right.
the middle, where she at?
In the middle.
So my Instagram is Monica_live, laugh and love.
Okay.
Monica_live, laugh and love.
Hold
Okay.
on. So this is Monica Moni.
Moni in the middle, where she at?
That's me.
Hey. Look.
Love it.
That's a beautiful
Love it.
profile picture.
Thank you.
Squad Diva here. I love it, man. I love it. Monica, can't thank you enough coming on, sis. This has been.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, when I was thinking about the podcast itself, I'm driving down the road. I'm driving past her office. Let me call Monica right now. Yo, Monica, look, we doing this podcast. I've been trying to get Monica on the podcast for the longest time. She'll tell you that. And I just could never kind of put it together to make it like, I could always have her come on and do an interview, that kind of thing. That's cool. But I thought this was perfect for her because of her experience of caring for a mom and a grandmother,
Right.
and her business as well.
Right.
So I thought like she'd be the perfect person
It's
to bring
all
on this
tied into
conversation.
one.
Yeah. You
Because
know what
me
I mean?
and Jimmy, we had this deep conversation, and it's just so crazy that you're here because now we were able to talk about all three things
Listen,
At one time.
at one time.
I told her, she was asking me, she's like, wait, we got a guest tonight? I was like, yeah, we got a guest. She was like, but I thought we was just talking about. I was like, oh no, don't worry.
Wait, that's what he kept saying. Don't worry.
No, it's all
wait.
good. No, you'll be
fine.
all right. You'll be all right. You'll be all
Perfect.
right. Well, listen, family, as always, we thank y'all for listening to us each and every week here at WPEB Radio 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. We thank y'all for your support, your continuous support. We thank you for all the listeners that listen in each week. Listen to the podcast on the streaming platforms. Listen to the podcast on PhiladelphiaRadio.com. The people that send us text messages and tell us they love the show. The people that come to CT in the morning and say they listen to the show after Wednesday come. The people that call Ty and be like, yo, bro, I need to get on. All of them. We
Yes.
thank y'all so much for the support and the love. I don't think you guys understand that this is what pushes us forward.
Yes.
There were times when me and Ty would just be sitting around just doing the work, not caring who was listening. And now the listeners are coming, and we can't just say we thank you or we appreciate you. We really feel so much that you guys are the reasons we do this. So we thank y'all for listening. We pray we make an impact in your life, positive impact in your life. We pray that we hope that you maybe change your perspective on some things. But with that being said, family, we always love you. We greatly appreciate you. With that being said, family, I want to thank y'all each and every time we come on here. So until the next episode, you can find us on Good Hope Road. Screaming, stay up. Don't sleep in your dreams. And remember, maybe call somebody you talked to yesterday or somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Make sure you call them and tell them that you love them, because you never know when you might get another chance. My brother Ty,
Yep.
My sister T,
Hey.
my sister Monica.
Hey.
I'm Jimmy Bonds. We out.